how do you deploy things like the Green Bonds Toolkit to set up a sustainable finance instrument. And we've heard about Tangawasa, which is a very good example. We supported Tangawasa through technical assistance, helping them to draft their Green Bond framework, from looking at the use of proceeds, the management of proceeds, the process for project selection and evaluation, and also helping them on how to report on that. So we give you a very, very practical, a very, very practical experience of how we work with issues like Tangawasa and how we support them through our technical assistance. And I don't want to talk about the numbers, I think they've been mentioned here, but the ambition is for us to continue to make sure that, we are helping the private sector to sort of pull their weight, and that, we ensure that, we are going to get that 2030 ambition of raising the 100 billion that is so desperately required. So folks, we have your contacts within our events registry, and we'll be reaching out to you with more information. This is a 5-day program, and the key dates for 2024 are August. We are planning to do a virtual session in August, and we are also planning to do a physical session in at some point in October, which will be either in Kigali or a location in East Africa. And then for the West African market, we are planning to do a physical session in January next year, which will be in Ghana or Nigeria. So we'll be reaching out with more information, but if you have any inquiry, please do reach out to us through info@fspafrica.org, and we'll be happy to respond. Thank you so much.
Many thanks, Sandy. Sandy Okoth from FSP Africa. We want to get to the point of closing remarks, and that will be delivered by Dr. Olufunso Somorin from AFDB. But before he does that, years of this job has taught me to make critical announcements before the closing remarks. So after we're done here, we will all pick our lunch vouchers as we walk through the doors. The lunch is served at the main restaurant, so we will walk straight, turn left, and then just proceed. So pick your voucher as you exit. The second thing is, if you scan the barcode on the QR code on your tables, you should be able to get the presentation which was made here by KPMG, so please make sure you do that as well. Please, closing remarks.
Thank you. So this is no a remark of assault. It's more of just bringing all of this together. So I've got a few slides, 4 of them, and we're done. One thing that we can agree, and please, I want to be very forceful about this, is I don't want us to live here with this notion that money is not available. I think I'm going to keep repeating it everywhere, because we must expand our view of the global financial system and to understand the quantum of resources globally available. In 2022, the world spent $7.2 trillion for fossil fuel subsidies. And when you hear Dr. Mahmoud say these things about trillion, and some of us may be imagining, are we really, talking about trillions? We're still here at millions and billions. And in fact, the first 18 months of COVID, the entire global economy spent $22 trillion to respond to COVID in the first 18 months. Today, the top 100 commercial banks globally, they've got an aggregated balance sheet of $130 trillion. Top 100 banks globally. Now, just imagine for the fossil fuel, if you reduce that by 20%, it's $7.2 trillion. And in fact, the figure for 2017, 5 years before then, was $4.2 trillion. So there was a $3 trillion of subsidy spent in 5 years. Just imagine for $7.2 trillion, we managed to reduce that by 20%. You could be unlocking $1.4 trillion. Imagine if you converted that for green investments. The biggest challenge is distribution. The biggest challenge is redirecting resources to where it's most needed, or perhaps to where our value systems are centered around. Because in the same period we're talking about global subsidy increase, it was the same period we're talking about Paris Agreement, it was the same period we're talking about NDC, and it was the same period we're talking about lack of capital.